You've probably heard of earth energy, but what about entrainment? That's a completely different label altogether. Today, I want to be able to give you some background to earth energy and link it into why you're going to be hearing a lot more about entrainment in the future, as it has some fabulous implications for our physical and mental well-being, as well as our connection to the earth. And you know what? You don't even need to be a good dowser to find out why. That's coming up. Hello there, my name is Tim Walter. I'm a house healer and alternative life coach. On this channel we work on consciously harnessing intuition to create more peace, balance and harmony in our lives. We use well-being techniques like meditation, mindfulness and dowsing in practical ways to help us get through life more smoothly. This is the sort of stuff that I use at a deep level in my work, but you can use these same techniques to help you shift to a greater sense of well-being in your lives. So why not click on subscribe and join me here on this channel for a little while. Now then, in 2016 I made a video which showed how to find the most beneficial and powerful earth energy power center in your home. These earth energy power centers are helpful in giving us an improved intuitive connection to our higher selves, our soul selves, or just that part of us that is more closely connected to the subconscious than the conscious mind. But as we will see in future videos, hopefully earth energy itself seems to be far more intrinsically linked to our experience of reality than we previously realized. Way back in 2003, I made a television pilot program featuring the great dowser, metalworker and philanthropist Hamish Miller. And we went to explore the earth energy features at a Neolithic sacred site known as the Merry Maidens, down in Cornwall in England. What I want to do now is to show you some clips from that program with Hamish explaining the different forms of earth energy that he was aware of almost 20 years ago. And in future videos here on this channel, I hope to be able to show you how much further our knowledge has come in those 20 years. One thing we do know for sure is that earth energy formations highlighted at this sacred site I'm about to show you can actually be found in all homes absolutely everywhere. So why was sacred sites special? Well, that seems to be simply to do with the power of the place. Now, more on that later on. So here then are some clips edited together, taken from my broadcast pilot program made in 2003 with Hamish Miller called The Spirit of the Serpent. The program was introduced by actress, singer and songwriter Claire Grogan.
Hello and welcome to another 2 days serpenteering. This week we're at the Merry Maidens, which are just outside of Penzance in Cornwall, England. We're here to find out more about these fantastic stones.
And will we find any of the mysterious symbolic shapes often created by earth energy?
I mean, what's everyone's expectations?
And this one in particular, I'm looking for the energy centre in the circle, which will not be in the centre, it'll be offset, and I hope to find from that there's radials of energy coming out to the stones. These subtle energies are all different in all different sites, and they're bands of different energies. They have a different effect on our way of thinking and our behaviour, and that's why we have to find out a lot more about it. It's 4,000 years old, but it may have started long before that as a sacred site. It may have gradually built when they started realising just how important this place was. And as they worked with it, the odd thing is that the earth energy seems to respond to consciousness.
Hamish set about dowsing to find the power centre and the major earth energy lines that enter and leave the circle.
Where they cross will be the energy centre of the whole circle. So can you stick that in?
Yep.
We'll keep that as a permanent marker, so I'll have to use the earth energy weaves like a river. It's such a complex thing. They join in with the next ones coming in, like big arteries coming together into the mainstream around the world, and then out to the cosmos. Each of these lines has a number of lines within it, and they will be going in different directions, probably feeding in and coming out, so we'll just check. And actually, all you have to do is ask. And that one is feeding that way. And the next one is that way. They are different frequencies. They are male, female, positive, negative, or yin-yang, or whatever. But there are differences in these lines, and they're feeding different energy in, and it's going through that stone, and that stone will react to this energy, but it's not dependent on it because it has its own energy centre and its own function, and it's related to the centre. Every power centre has a vortex around it, and straight radials coming out like the spokes of a bicycle wheel. And they will tie up from here, from this power centre, to each individual stone. Because I think that's what the ancients were marking, because they didn't necessarily start with 20. They may have started with half a dozen stones, just marking the odd radial coming out. But as it develops in ceremony, the whole system seems to develop, and the earth responds to what people are doing in the ceremony. This is the controversial one, where I think there's a stone missing. And they're never evenly spaced because they very often bunch where there's an energy line feeding in. I think the radials were here originally coming from the energy centre, because there are hundreds of cases of power centres which are not marked by stones, which have radials. And I think the function of this thing is, by the old people, is to mark where these radials are, because it's part of their sacred temple, if you like. The hugely important part of it is to make a permanent record of the basic number of radials coming out of this centre. So the full treatment would have 20 radials coming out. What we're finding is absolutely astonishing. You can see what happens, and all these radials, straight radials coming out through the stones. We've got spirals.
And it's all meeting in the centre.
It's all meeting in the centre. It's all happening in the centre. These are the main radials we've been able to find, and there are 20 of these, one to each stone. Mm-hmm. And then they go in towards the centre, and there's a massive spiral at the centre. And I've marked it with the orange stuff.
And does it feel like a positive energy, Hamish?
It's very positive. It's a beautiful balanced feel. You see, this is just the earth. It's a sort of heartbeat or a little synapse in the earth, which is just pulsing away here and waiting for something really important to happen. You can see the wee spiral here starts. Right. And actually it goes much tighter. The rope's too wide. It starts with a tiny little spiral, and it comes, really, and then it starts to come out here. And this is the one that, if you start playing with it, it'll either wind up or wind out. Okay. And I think it's trying to communicate with us, because it's just created this thing.
But what's it trying to say?
I don't know.
Well, let's see what's happening.
I can show you what the shape is, and Barb could probably mark it with this very highly technological system we have with these little candles. Yeah. I can see how it's coming out.
Can you?
Yes, absolutely. This is rather a wonderful pattern you call lemniscate of Benui. Now this round here is 4,000 whatever it is BC. Right. This is 17th century mathematics, so it just goes to show it took all that time before we were able to describe these patterns in mathematical form. Yeah. And that's one shape of a whole class of patterns in that shape which apply to all sorts of stone circles.
So guys, we're coming to the end of our 2 days here, and all the time I've been wanting to pick up on things, you know, because it would be great for all of us if I felt something, and this overall thing I feel the most is energised. Have you experienced what you expected, Hamish?
It's been an amazing 2 days for me, and you know, finding this landscape at the end just intrigues me so much.
Anything else to show us?
What I want to do is you know, this little energy centre here has been pulsing away, and I want to put an amethyst crystal in the centre and ask if there is any reaction to the energy from the earth to the energy of the amethyst crystal.
Rupert's research and Julie's findings both indicate that at some point this site would have been used by the ancients to watch and maybe chart the skies. What is clear from the work Hamish has done is that there is a powerful, subtle energy here even today.
He's great, isn't he? So, just to repeat, there were several important features that Hamish dowsed. There was the main energy lines as they passed through the site, the main earth energy spiral or vortex that we can find at all sacred sites, the straight lines that come out of the centre of that vortex, and we also saw that earth energy seems to respond to inanimate objects when Hamish put the crystal on the power centre. Remember that I ask you to dowse to find the most powerful and beneficial earth energy power centre in your home and to sit with it, and when you do, and when you send it positive harmonious love, then it is the radials, those straight lines that come out of the power centre, that will increase in number. So your presence has an effect on earth energy, and earth energy has an effect on you. The most important thing in the entire programme wasn't actually anything that Hamish did or said. It was what Claire Grogan said, quite out of the blue, at the end in her summary.
You know, because it would be great for all of us if I felt something, and this overall thing I feel the most is energised.
She felt energised by being there. That's important because earth energy affects the way we feel, both mentally and emotionally. We've known that for decades. And we know that being in nature does this anyway, but the effects from earth energy are far deeper and seem to literally affect the spirit of the person. This is where the idea of entrainment starts to play a part. The earth has a pulse, a heartbeat. You heard Hamish talking about it. And all earth energy pulses and moves information around the earth's surface with a rhythmic movement and a gentle pulsing. When you sit at home with your earth energy power centre, you will be able to feel that pulsing if you meditate deeply enough. And if we're in the presence of such energy movements and the earth pulses in harmony with us, it's very likely that our heartbeat and our rhythms are entrained to be in sync with the earth, even in your own home. As far as I'm concerned, entrainment could well become the buzzword for well-being here on this channel all of next year. Till next time, take care. Bye-bye.